I am going to share with you the events that took place April 12th, 2016. I recorded this video April 11th, 2020. And so tomorrow will be 4 years since a traumatic experience happened in my life. April 12th, 2016, I was called into work to close down the store. On my way back from work, I got into a head-on collision. A car came and hit me head-on. The left side of my vehicle took the impact of the accident. And I just remember thinking to myself, leaving to go, shut down the store. I worked at Zales jewelry store at the time. Leaving to go shut down the store, I remember thinking to myself, man, I better get this promotion, because whenever you're trying to get a promotion, you do whatever it takes to get that promotion, And for me, I was just like, I'm gonna make myself available for the promotion. And so me being available meant if they called me and said that they need me to come in, I'm your girl, I'm there, I'm coming in. And so I went and I shut down the store. On my way back from the store, I was like 2 blocks away from my house, and a car came and hit my car head on the left side of my car, which is the driver's side. It took the impact of the accident and it crushed in. I'm gonna show you some pictures of how that happened. Let's see. So I got a ton of pictures in my phone. This was the car after it got hit. The left side of my car literally went in, and it crushed, it shattered my femur. And I didn't know that was the hardest bone in your body to break, but it's the hardest bone in your body to break. And so this is what the car looked like. To this day, for me, sometimes I'm just like, I cannot believe I made it out of that alive. God totally was like, you're not done yet. There's still some things that you need to do. So, and this is me in rehab. Picture of me and my mom in rehab. We'll get to that later. And again, another picture of me and my mom in rehab. I had a head injury, which is why my eye is red, because this is the after it healed up. But I looked completely messed up. This was where they had to cut to put the rod in, and they cut me 2 other places down on my femur. But all I remember thinking to myself was, oh my gosh, whatever, however this car accident happened, I'm surprised that I'm alive. I'm surprised. I don't remember the car accident happening. So I was, I guess I was on my way home is what the police report writes. I was on my way home from work, and so the car hit the left side of my car, came in. I had my phone and my wallet in between of my seat. And so what happened was it got crushed. So when I went to the hospital, I wasn't registered under a name. I was under an alias. I guess they do Jane Doe or something like that. And so my family didn't even know where I was exactly. What happened was my friend at the time, who's now my husband, he called my phone to see if I made it home. Fine, because before I left my house, I told him, I said, hey, I'm running to the store, to close down the store. I'll text you and let you know when I get back home. And so he rang my phone because he didn't hear from me. At this time, it's 11 p.m. And when I left the house to go shut down the store, it was a little bit before 9 p.m. He called, and so the police officer answered the phone. When the police officer answered the phone, he was just whoa, what's going on? Because all he seen was lights in the background. And so the police officer said that they cannot, disclose any information, but if he knows, my parents or someone that I'm close with, to notify them and let them know that I've been involved in a car accident and I've been rushed to Lawnwood Medical. He went and he called my sister, and my sister then went and had to tell my parents what happened. My parents were sleeping, and my sister had to wake up my mom and tell my mom what took place and what happened. My house, you have to come out of the street and then there's a main street, and on that street is where the accident happened. So they had to drive out to see the car and see how everything went down. I can only imagine how they probably felt, in that moment. Is she alive? Is she not alive? And so I was rushed to the hospital for a shattered femur, bone contusions, bruised ribs, one broken rib. I had a major head injury. They had to rush me to hospital so they can fix my leg because it was banged up, They had to put a metal rod, which I just showed you, in my leg. And so I have a metal rod from my knee all the way up to my hip and going into the neck of my femur. I woke up in the hospital the very next day. I didn't remember the accident. I didn't even know an accident took place, And so my mom would not give me a mirror. My sister would not give me a mirror. When the doctor came in, he basically told me, I will have to learn how to walk again through intense therapy, physical therapy, to learn how to walk again. And all I remember was just like, oh my gosh, like I just want to see what I look like so I know how bad this is, And so thank God that they didn't give me a mirror then, because the pictures that I seen after, once I was in rehab, they were messed up, guys. Take a look. Yeah, I went through therapy, physical therapy, to learn how to walk again. I went through therapy to learn how to organize things again, feel mental. I went to therapy to do exercise, like brain exercises, regular math, how to organize pills and stuff like that, for speech. The head injury that I had, it caused me to have seizures. I actually had a seizure the very next day that I got to the rehab. I had a seizure, and then after I went to the hospital, I had 2 more seizures after that. I had to go through therapy as well. To this day, I still deal with some issues from the accident. I love heels so much. I learned how to walk in heels again, but to this day, I can't wear heels like how everybody normally probably wear heels and can stay in them for a long time. I can't do that anymore. I can't sit pretzel style, I can't do certain things with my legs. I can't run anymore. I think that's what I miss the most, is running. I used to just get up and run around my block. And so I think that's what I miss the most. I remember when the accident first happened, I used to have dreams that I would either be running or running freely. I don't suffer with seizures today. I don't suffer with seizures. After 4 years of the accident, I've been healed by that, thank God. And they told me as my brain heals, as my head heals, that I wouldn't have them as much anymore. I was on seizure medication. I couldn't drive for 2 years. I had to get cleared. My license had to get cleared to drive. I had to go about 6 months to a year without any type of seizures at all. It was hard. It was hard because I had to rely on other people, which I wasn't that type of girl, I was not that type of girl to rely on other people. I had to learn how to, and I had to learn to eat my pride. I had to learn to allow others to help me. I learned a lot through this accident. These little things, that you take for granted to begin with, and then when they're gone and you don't have them, you realize whoa, I really miss doing certain things. And for me, it's running. For me, it's that regular pace that I used to have. That accident was an ordeal. It was painful. It was traumatic. And it was something that I had to go through. It was necessary because it changed my whole life. It changed my whole life. That's when me and my husband realized what God had placed in front of us, which was each other. That's when I realized the skills that I had. That's when I finished my book. I wrote a book called Embracing Sarah Ann, Finding Faith, Hope and Love Through God's Unfailing Love. And, I wrote that book from a place of, I started to write that book before the accident happened. I started to write that book. And so when the accident took place, I remember my sister came to the hospital with my laptop and she's like, you're gonna finish this book, right? And I'm like, no way. I was like, I'm not in the shape to finish a book, like no way. And she was like, listen, this is the best time for you to be writing. The best time, because it's raw, it's authentic, it's real, it's straight to the point. And people will be able to feel it. People will be able to know the story, And so I wrote during the whole ordeal, like during my stay in the hospital. I wrote in rehab. There were nights I couldn't sleep because of the medication I was taking and because of the pain that I had. And so I pulled out the laptop and I would just write. My mom stayed in the hospital with me every day. This lady, Haitian moms, well, moms in general, who love their kids, but stayed in the hospital with me every day to make sure that I was okay, to make sure that I wasn't sad, to make sure that I didn't go into depression, and I couldn't pull myself out. I did have a strong support system. I can say that. They know who they are. I thank them so much every day. I had a strong support system that really helped me to regain walking again. My last day in rehab, funny story, my last day in rehab, I came in with heels because the doctor told me I wouldn't be able to wear heels again because I wouldn't be able to walk right again. I'd be walking like, I just wouldn't walk right. And so I came into rehab with my heels. I plopped it down and I was just like, I'm walking in these. I'm doing whatever exercise I can do that I'm able to do in these heels. My physical therapist was looking at me like, are you serious? And then I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do it in these heels. And so I did the last exercise in the heels, and guys, like I was just so proud of myself. I was so proud. Like I came so far and I made it to that point. My time of recovery was about a year and a half. And I started driving again after 2 years. I didn't get a car until after I got married. I was afraid of having my own car. I didn't want to go through that again, just the thought of that, because the accident wasn't my fault. Any car that drives around me, I can't trust, I get a certain way about it. I wrote a book called Embracing Sarah. If you guys want a copy of the book, just let me know, let me know and I'll get a copy over to you. But it details more about my story, a little bit about my story, more about the accident and overcoming the accident, gaining a business from learning skills from the accident, not being able to walk and just thinking to myself, okay, you know what? I can't walk, so how can we make something work, And so I was just like, I learned how to design things, create certain flyers is what I first started with, and then it went into web design, logo design, and now we own a business, my husband and I, called Telemac Creative. All birthed from that accident, all birthed from that experience. I really encourage you, if you have gone through something traumatic or you're going through something traumatic right now, a lot of times it's easy for you to look at it in a negative way, but there is a light that comes from it that you can use, that it's not just gonna be for you, it's going to be for somebody else. That light that you do gain from it, that's in that situation, is for somebody else. It's to serve somebody else, It's to birth something out of you. And so for me, it was to birth purpose, fulfillment, and to birth that business out of me. I'm sitting here today sharing this story with you guys. 4 years ago, I didn't even think that I would even be doing all of this. But this is the first thing on my 30th list to do, is to create a YouTube channel. I wanted to do the YouTube channel. I took some time with it because I was just like, I'm not sure. I created one before and then I dissolved it because I was just like not feeling it. To be honest with you, I don't know if I was scared or anxious or just didn't know what direction it was really going in. But this is the first thing on my 30 list of things that I want to do and I want to accomplish fearlessly. YouTube channel is the first one, so here you have it. This is my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification so you can get videos. Videos goes up every week. So I want you guys to look forward to it. I'm looking forward to creating content for you. I'll try my best to mix the content for you guys. But I really want this channel to be really real, really authentic, really raw. I want us to cry together, to share together on this journey of the 30 things that I want to accomplish fearlessly, and in hopes inspire you and encourage you to accomplish these things. Guys, you don't need to make these lists as a bucket list and wait before you kick, life over and you cross over that you want to accomplish these things. You can accomplish them now. You can make those lists today. Make your list with me. Okay, I'm doing 30 because I'll be 30 January 12, 2021. That's why I'm doing 30. If you're going to be 21, do 21. If you're going to be 40, do 40. If you're going to be 35, do 35 things that you want to accomplish. And join me on this journey so we can live life fearlessly with no regrets.